Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Tuesday edition of The Big Show, Primetime Local News. We have a lot on the show tonight. John from the SPCA will be here with two adorable cat friends, Mr. and Mrs. they are tonight, so yeah.
Mr. and Mrs.
The couple. Yeah, well, they're actually siblings, not couple, but yeah. And Gilly is obviously on it news and sports as well. And today's Tuesday, which means Beyond the Boards.
Yeah, so Beyond the Boards, we talk to the Bobcats of what it's like to be role models in the community. So pretty cool. It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's really good. I feel like a lot of people look up to those hockey players. And then
Absolutely.
Gerard, always on the agriculture beat. And today we're talking beef.
Yeah, we're talking beef because producers are having their fall supper meetings. So you know what's on the menu when we say supper. Actually, this evening it's Provost is having their meeting. Next week it's Kitscoty. But yesterday I went out to Paradise Hill for their beef producers meeting.
Ooh, very exciting. All right, well, we look forward to all of that. But first, we're going to toss it over to Josh, who's taking in the Bobcats game.
Thanks very much, Michaela. I am at the Civic Center. We're just seeing the end of some novice girls hockey practice. They're finishing up here before the Bobcats get underway this evening against the Grand Prairie Storm, a team several wins ahead of them in the standings, but one that the Bobcats have had success against in recent years. After that big overtime win in Fort McMurray on Saturday, you know the Cats are going to want to make a bit of a winning streak and gain some momentum here. We're going to send it right back to the studio for a look at our local news.
Thank you, Josh. The wastewater treatment plant has been a source of contention for the city of Lloydminster as they look towards completing upgrades to meet Canadian environmental standards. Our Brittany Matika has the update on the project.
The city is trying to move the upgraded wastewater treatment plant forward while still awaiting funding approval for the $80 million project. Council is looking at putting forward almost $79,000 to create a workspace on the second floor of the operations center.
Understanding it's part of the overall wastewater treatment plant budget, or at least in the process that was required at some point in the future. This large room to house 30 people that has good internet speeds that can do this complicated 3D modeling is required to be able to complete the project.
We need the room, we need the place to do it. And if we're looking at managing our money and doing it in a way where we can benefit long-term out of the investments we put in, I think it's the way to go.
The space would need to be brought up to working standards, including increasing internet speed, proper ventilation, and additional lighting and electrical outlets.
Long-term plan is, at this point, I don't think we as council or administration have really decided what the overall purpose of that room will be, and it's certainly viewed as being open space.
The city has secured $9 million from the Small Communities Grant Fund. Mayor Albers says the city is still looking for $50 million for the project.
Before the government of Saskatchewan for infrastructure funding that would be matchable to the federal government. We have an infrastructure application in front of the Alberta government that is matchable, hopefully with their approval with the federal government.
Mayor Albers says he has been corresponding with Ottawa and is making sure the border city's call for help is heard. Brittany Matika, Primetime Local News.
And Lakeland College Vermilion has achieved a huge accomplishment, one that hasn't been done by a post-secondary institution before.
The college is the first in Alberta to attain the Verified Beef Production Plus certification. Being recognized by this National On-Farm Safety Program means a lot.
The certification means that we're a sustainable farm who is meeting all of the codes that need to be met in order to raise animals properly. So as far as medical treatments, etc., that all we're up to code and meeting that. So
lots of work and preparation from everyone involved in the program went into making sure they were able to earn VBP Plus status, and it paid off.
Producer, there are now feedlots that want those animals to take them through the whole production system in that same manner. So verified beef production feedlots will be asking for those cows. So it opens up markets for us for sure.
Students like Keegan Miller are very proud to be a part of a program that is being held at the highest standards.
That agriculture can be seen by the public for what it is and for proper practice. So going forward, we know what we need to do for VBP Plus in the community, and we can use that to become a stronger ag group.
Lakeland is very progressive and hopes to set the example for future producers and continue to influence students going through the program.
And 3 years after breaking ground in the new Saskatchewan Hospital in North Battleford is nearing completion, with staff and patients expected to be arriving in November. But before that, the public is invited to the new facility to take a look around. The new hospital is approximately the size of 3 CFL football fields and will offer 284 beds to patients from across Saskatchewan. For those wanting to take a look inside, a 1-hour guided walking tours are available from now until November 2nd, and to register for that, you can send an email to the Saskatchewan Health Authority. And the Lac La Biche Agricom was turned into a kingdom on Sunday with over 300 princesses for a tea party, and over $800,000 was raised, or sorry, rather $8,000 was raised for local charities. And our own Prince Charming, Justin Marshall, caught up with one of the head organizers of the event.
I'm Justin Marshall, live here in Lac La Biche, Alberta, at the Lac La Biche Agricom for the 5th annual Princess Tea Party. It's put on by Kim Hughes, who's the organizer. 5 years, and you sell it in 2 weeks. How does this event just keep getting bigger?
I don't know, but the kids seem to really enjoy it, and it's very exciting for them to come and do all the events and all the activities we have for them. And yeah, there's princesses here, of course, and that's a big draw for them to come and spend a day with a special princess.
And how did you come up with the idea?
Along with my organizer as well, Bev Kachuk. We just got down together because we have these 2 beautiful young ladies back here, our daughters, and wanted to put an event on that would attract kids this age. And so that's kind of where it started.
And the money, tell us what it goes towards.
This year we're doing the Humane Society, which we also did last year. It's kind of true to my heart, something I'm really passionate about. And we also donate to the Ag Society, which they put on a children's festival every year. So again, it goes to the kids again. So yeah, it's a win-win.
Well, and I'm sure you guys will be doing it again next year. Kim Hughes, thanks so much for joining me.
You're welcome, and thank you so much. And Prince Charming definitely makes a big impact on our event, and we're so proud that he comes every year to join us. Thanks, Justin.
For Primetime Local News, I'm Justin Marshall.
And now we're going to head back to Josh Ryan, who's at the Bobcats game.
Welcome to the Civic Center. I'm joined by Bobcats head coach and GM Travis Clayton. Travis, an exciting Tuesday evening, your first meeting against the Grand Prairie Storm, and coming off of a big win for you guys on Saturday.
Yeah, I thought we had a good road trip. Obviously, we came on the short end on Friday night, but I thought we had a real strong game. Probably played just about a perfect game on Saturday, and it was a huge win for the boys to get back on the winning track. And we're at home and against a tough opponent in the Grand Prairie Storm tonight.
Now, this is a team that obviously it's a different Grand Prairie team than in the past, but it's a team you guys have played very tough in previous seasons.
Yeah, they're a good hockey team. They did, last year they had a real good second half, and they've started off where they finished last year, and they're a high offensive team. We're going to have to control their speed through the neutral zone and clog it up and kind of slow them down that way because they can score goals in bunches.
For sure. And you do have a couple of guys not in the lineup that normally are, including Curtis Meager will be out tonight. So how important is it for some of the new guys like Cale Elder, who will be in net, to step up today?
It's huge. I thought he had a great game on Saturday. He rebounded and played a very, very strong game on Saturday. He made some big saves for us, some timely saves, and hats off to him. And he's a great goalie, and I expect him to be strong again tonight for us.
Absolutely, and expect a strong home contingent of fans showing up for this showdown between the Storm and the Bobcats. We'll have plenty more in the Civic, but for now, let's head back and see what's happening in studio.
All right, thank you so much, Josh. Another gorgeous day here in the border city, currently sitting at 12 degrees, plenty of sunshine. Not too far off from these records. Look, 19 back in 1998. Just a few degrees off there, but then we saw minus 15 in 1991, so luckily we are not there. As we look to our satellite radar from the last few hours, just some cloud cover coming in and out of the region, but no precipitation as of yet. And then watches and warnings, none in effect, which is always a great sign. As we look to the map, currently sitting at 12 degrees here in the border city, a little bit warmer as we move over into the west. So 13 degrees in Edmonton, 16 in Edson, 17 in Jasper. That is quite warm, as the typical averages for this time of the year are 9 degrees. So everywhere sitting real nice. 16 degrees in Rocky Mountain House, 13 in Athabasca, 11 in Whitecourt. And over on the Saskatchewan side, sitting at 13 in North Battleford, even warmer at 14 in Saskatoon, 10 in Melfort, and then 11 in Prince Albert. And we have been seeing cooler temperatures on the Sask side all week, but they have warmed up today. As we look to our broadcast region, currently sitting at 13 degrees and sunny. A little windy in North Battleford. Winds coming out of the southeast at 21 km/h. Overnight, going to dip down to -2. The wind chill is going to be in effect, but only going to feel more like -5 at some points into the overnight hours. And then tomorrow, again, a sunny day and 13 degrees as the high. Cold Lake also sitting at 13 currently. Winds a little bit less, coming about 15 km/h out of the southeast. Overnight dipping down to -2, and then tomorrow clouds are going to start to come in. Mostly sunny for a high of 10 degrees. And then sitting at 12 here in the border city, dipping down to -1 overnight. Going to feel like more like -5 at some points. And then tomorrow, a high of 11 degrees. We are going to see those clouds roll in. Thursday, a little less cloudy, but only a high of 9 degrees, which is our average for this time of the year. -1 for the low. And then Friday, we could see some precipitation and a high of 11 degrees. I'll have more details on that coming up a little later in the show.
Welcome back. Well, getting back to stakeholders is critical, especially when everyone is busy with harvest and foraging. I had the chance to visit with Saskatchewan cattlemen as fall meetings are being held in our area.
We're only willing to put in funding if the industry is willing to put in the money.
The Cattlemen's Association is the voice for producers. Producers pay what's called a levy on every head of cattle that's sold. Members of District 9B met in Paradise Hill for the fall supper meeting and the annual update.
And every year at the fall meetings, we just want to prove to them what the money is going towards, what it's funding.
Dean Moore, who ranches with his family in the Frenchman Butte area, also heads up District 9B.
We've got a brand new facility down in Saskatoon that we just put forward, the Livestock Forage Center of Excellence.
Moore points out the government will support the endeavors of the industry, but they will not match those efforts unless the industry takes the lead.
When we stepped up with some big donations, the government was very willing and happy to match those donations, or even bigger ones, to help with those programs to go forward.
Moore admits the season has been busy for everyone, and he's also putting in late nights on the combine. Still, he wants producers to have their say.
The reason we have these meetings is we want producers to come out to voice their opinions, to voice their reasons, or even just to contact me on the phone. That's my job, is to represent our district and to take things to the government or to our meetings so that we can get resolutions and get things solved, and we're here to work for the producers.
The Strychnine issue is still a thorny subject.
We're trying to get up as many producers as we can to speak up and take the online survey for it through our website, Sask Beef, just to get our voice heard, because it could be, the government has their mindset that they might cancel us again, and we all know what happened 15 years ago when they did cancel it the first time. We got a big gopher problem that it took a long time to solve until we got the strychnine back to use again. And
2 resolutions from the meeting will go forward to the AGM in January, calling for a government alternative to the Livestock Loan Guarantee Program and giving brand inspectors access to CFIA tag info when theft is suspected. Gerard Lampow, Primetime Local News. That's our agriculture report for this round. Of course, Elise has a look at the world of sports, but first, let's check those ag prices.
City Center Auto Body is proud to offer the paintless dent removal system. This works by going behind the panel, working out small dents. Lloydminster's trusted auto body shop for over 35 years.
Taking a look at sports now, Hockey Hooky Day may have gone south for the Lloydminster Bobcats on the ice, but it was still a unique experience for the 1,600 kids in attendance. In this week's Beyond the Boards, Josh Ryan looks at how Bobcat players approach being thought of as role models.
Last week was one of the few instances where Bobcats players that didn't dress were having more fun than those on the ice.
It was pretty cool for me and really enjoyed it and just, yeah, loved being around all the kids.
Interacting with kids and signing autographs isn't new for most of the team's players, like Drew Warkentine, who's had that experience since he was 16.
Nice to get it first time when I was younger so that I knew what to do and talk to them while I was doing it. So it was kind of weird, but it was good.
The status many junior hockey players have in small communities thrusts a certain amount of pressure and responsibility upon them. But the Bobcats say the pressure doesn't have much impact.
Probably for young guys that haven't been around it, probably be a little bit of pressure to live up to, but it gets pretty easy after a while.
In fact, players embrace being able to play for fans who recognize them out at the mall or movie theater.
If you're playing in Sherwood Park or somewhere like that, like, not very many people know who you are, and it's kind of cool. You get to be your own leaders in the community.
The responsibility of having kids look up to them is something that players take both pleasure and pride in.
You're a role model in the community for those kids, so it's nice to give back to them and sign stuff for them if they want it done, or even just go and talk to them for a bit.
You just want to be a good role model for kids to look up to. That's kind of that's what we aspire to be as Bobcats. That's what we pride ourselves on as leaders in the community. So that's really just what we're trying to do every time we're out in the community, helping out with kids or whatever. So.
And it's an opportunity to learn some life skills that could have lasting importance.
Hockey doesn't work out and you're a person after. You learn those skills when you're playing hockey so that you can take them with you.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local Sports.
Beyond the Boards is brought to you by City Center Auto Body. At City Center Auto Body, they can fix anything, now on both sides of the border.
That's it for sports, and now we're going to head over to Josh Ryan, who is live at the Bobcats game.
Hi, we're back in the Civic Center, and I'm joined by Bobcats captain and leading centerman Zach Kaiser. We were just saying on a pretty good point-of-game pace, kind of what you ended last season on, 15 points in 13 games thus far. Has that kind of been an important part of your season to start strong, unlike last year where you kind of took a while to get going?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the start of the year last year, you said it. I took a while to get myself going, and I found my kind of feet as the season went on. But no, of course, it's a little more of a confidence builder, and you have a good start now, and you hope that you even have an even better finish than you did last year, kind of thing.
Absolutely. Speaking to tonight's game specifically, how important is it for you guys to get off to a good first period start? Because the last time you guys were at home, getting the legs going was a bit of an issue.
Yeah, it's something we've been kind of touching on as the season's going on. We want to focus on playing a full 60 minutes, right? We've had those games where we've started good and couldn't get a finish, and like you said, last time we were here, we struggled at the start, and that kind of killed us. But it's always important to get a good start, kind of set the pace for the game, and kind of see where it goes from there.
Absolutely, and you guys did manage to have a good bounce back on Saturday night, an exciting overtime win. How important was that for the confidence that you guys had after?
Yeah, obviously it's huge. We're on a 4-game losing streak there, and it can ruin the confidence for some guys. And obviously when you're not winning, things are even harder to come by. So it's nice to get that win under our belts, and hopefully we can just keep building on it from there.
And you obviously do have a couple of guys out of the lineup, unfortunately. Curtis Meager, for example, with a head injury, he'll be missing this one. Cale Elder having to step in, though he had a great appearance over the weekend as well. That improved all-around skill level throughout the lineup. That's already making a difference in some of these situations with injuries.
No, it's it always sucks to see one of your teammates to go down, but like you said, we've got everyone. We've got guys at all positions that can step in and fill in, and we've got a skilled team with guys who can take over any situation.
And good to see. Hope to see you take over the situation tonight and score a few more points and goals, I'm sure. We'll be back in the Civic Center with more from the Bobcats. But first, a look at what's going on with your local weather.
All right, thank you so much, Josh. Starting it off with this gorgeous shot from Bud Miller Park. This was sent to us by Gina. If you have any shots of the weather, make sure you do send them in to us. We'd love to showcase them here on our weather segment. As we look to our numbers, though, really sitting nice here at 12 degrees in the border city. As we move out west, it's still even warmer. It's sitting at 10 in Vermilion, and then 14 in Vegreville, 13 degrees in Edmonton. Provo sitting at 11, 13 for Wainwright, 12 for St. Paul, 12 for Bonnyville, 13 in Cold Lake, and 12 up in Lac La Biche. It is way above the seasonal averages for this time of the year, so really, really nice start to, or I guess we're already in mid-October there. 11 in Macklin, 13 in North Battleford, 12 in Maidstone, 14 in St. Walburg, and 13 degrees up in Meadow Lake. As we look north, a little bit cooler, so we're sitting at 11 in La Loche, 11 in Buffalo Narrows, 11 degrees in La Ronge, 4 degrees in Flin Flon. They've been sitting quite a bit lower than the other areas in the region. 14 degrees in Fort McMurray, 12 in Slave Lake, and that's the same number in Grand Prairie. A little bit cooler at 11 in Peace River, and 11 as well in High River. And as we look down south, 18 degrees in Lethbridge, really, really nice. Even warmer at 19 in Medicine Hat, a little bit cooler up in Calgary, but 17 degrees there. And then 16 for Banff, 13 for Coronation, and over on the Saskatchewan side, 16 degrees in Swift Current, same number in Moose Jaw, and then a little bit cooler sitting at 12 in Estevan. And then as we look to our numbers for tomorrow, we're going to be a little bit cooler here in the border city. We're going to reach a daytime high of 11 degrees, 13 for Maidstone, 15 for Macklin, 13 for North Battleford, and then over onto the Alberta side. Going to be 12 in Wainwright, 15 degrees in Provost, 11 in Vegreville, and 12 degrees in Edmonton. So really nice numbers as we continue through the week. For the kids off to school tomorrow, going to be 0 degrees in the morning, so you're going to want a warmer jacket there. Warming up to 3 degrees by recess, and then 7 degrees over the lunch hour. The clouds are going to start to come in, and then 11 degrees by home time. Now, as we get into the 7-day forecast, we are going to be seeing a little bit of a cooler weekend, but then back up next week. So 11 degrees tomorrow, Thursday 9 degrees, Friday, 11 degrees, mostly sunshine, and then Saturday, 55% chance of some precipitation. No snow on the radar as of yet. 8 degrees there. Sunday, a little bit cooler again, 9 degrees, and then warming back up on Monday for 14. But then Tuesday is when we could see the snow come back into action. 65% chance there, and only a high of 4 degrees. But we still have some time, and hopefully Mother Nature can make that a little bit warmer for us. Averages for this time of the year are 9 degrees, so mostly sitting above the average for this time of the year.
Welcome back here in the Civic Center. I have defenseman Reed Irwin, second year with the Bobcats, and part of a group that wants to make a statement this year. Had a great win over the weekend. Just how much of a difference did that make confidence-wise? Not just that you had broken a win streak, but that you can compete with these other top teams in the league.
Oh, it's really huge. I mean, we knew coming into both those games that we can play with the top teams in our division. We just got to show up, not grip our sticks as tight, and play hockey. But no, it feels good to get a win out of Fort Mac. I mean, they got a lot of fans at their games. They got good support, so it was nice to kind of shut them up a little bit.
Yeah, shut them up in overtime, no less. It's also coming off for the home game here. You're coming off of a bad loss, obviously, at Hockey Hooky Day. Yeah. Still a great time for the kids that were there, despite the result. And one of the things your coaches have talked about is focusing on tightening D-zone coverage and not having kind of lapses in focus. And clearly the goals were down over the weekend, so some of that's starting to pay off.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's good offense comes from good defense, I think, is what most coaches preach. And it's not cheating offensively. It's winning battles down low and not being on the wrong side of the puck, looking to keep pucks out of our own net to put pucks in their net.
And now with the Grand Prairie Storm, you're facing a very skilled team, another high-powered offensive team, similar, I guess, to the Crusaders, who you played last week. Because defensive zone coverage has been your focus, what do you have to do maybe a little bit differently or a little more sharply against a team this skilled?
I think you just got to be focused when you're in the D zone, no lapses. With a team like this, 2 or 5 minute lapse in the game will cost us at the end of the game. So it's staying focused the whole game, but also knowing we can compete with these teams and we can beat these teams. Not gripping our sticks too tight and just playing the game we've played for a long time, so enjoying it too.
Okay, we'll be looking to make sure you don't grip your stick too tight tonight, and the rest of the squad as well. We'll be back with more, but first, heading back to studio.
All right, well, today's question of the day is all about shopping as people start putting together their holiday list. So we wanted to know, do you prefer online or shopping in person? We did put out a poll, and 36% of you say online, while 64% of you say in person. So the majority of your shopping, do you do online or in person?
A mix of both. I think I tried out some online shopping last year in particular. It went very well, actually.
Ah, there you go.
Nice.
Maybe you're doing it again this year?
But something about the buzz of going to the mall or going to the shops and so on is...
Really?
Yes,
because I would
honestly.
rather I almost would rather avoid the crowd and the people and just do it online. What's your take?
It depends on what I'm buying. Clothes, I like to actually just like try on and have it in person because returning clothes and stuff, I'm not a big fan of. But Amazon and stuff, if I need like little things, I will definitely do it online.
Yeah, we did also ask the question on our Facebook page, and quite a variety of answers. Nancy says in person, but sometimes it's hard to find things you need here in Lloydminster. And then Cheryl says, depends what it is, definitely in person if it's something wearable or I need right away. And then someone says they're too scared of getting their package stolen off of their doorstep, so
That's
they
a
just—
concern.
It is, yeah, especially
That's
around
a
the
real
holidays.
concern.
Yeah, that can definitely be an issue. You do still have time to weigh in on our question of the day, so make sure you let us know your thoughts. Do you do your shopping online or in person? But right now we're just going to turn it to our pet of the day segment. Let's look at these cuties. So we have Whiskey, and this was sent in by Kyra, so thank you for sending that in, out with a combine in the back there on the field. And then next up we have, let's see, ooh, Simba. That's a great photo. And that was sent to us by Kenzie. Thank you for sending that in. And then next up we have Teddy. Beautiful shot there. Nice black and white photo. And that was sent to us by Janelle. And then we also have Gus. This is an adorable photo that was sent to us by Jackie. And then last but certainly not least, we have Reba, which I think is the greatest dog name, and that was sent to us by Janet.
Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
And once again, we are back in the Civic Center. As you can see behind me, the concession stand, I have already made a stop, and I quite enjoy the buttery popcorn they serve here. Plenty of other stuff going on during this pre-game session. Plenty of Kona Ice available. There's actually a contest to win a trip forward to Disneyland that you can pay for here as well to buy a ticket. And you can also see here Chase the Ace Jackpot, among other things. People are already lining up for what should be an exciting game between the Bobcats and the Storm. Remember, they got crushed 8-2 last week by the Crusaders, a similarly offensive team. So this will be a good test for these young Buck D. Next week, tomorrow rather, you got Brittany Matika. Well, tomorrow. And I'll take it back to you guys in the studio.
Oh, bring back some of that popcorn, Josh. We're all hungry sitting in here. Look into our our next stuff, I can't speak. I'm thinking popcorn. 7-day forecast. We're all going to be sitting at 11, 9 degrees on Thursday, back up to the double digits for Friday. But we are going to cool off onto the weekend. Saturday, 8 degrees, 55% chance we could see some rain there. Sunday, 9 degrees, and then warming back up for the start of the work week, 14. But then Tuesday is when we go back into those seasonal numbers, and 65% chance we could see some flurry action on Tuesday. So back to those numbers, unfortunately. Yep, but that's all the time we have. We'll see you right here tomorrow. Take care.